Hey everyone, and welcome back to Microsoft Sphere. The news cycle is moving at warp speed, and if you're not plugged in, you're missing out. We've got breaking updates that are shaking things up across the tech landscape, and you're going to want to hear all about them. Get ready for some unmissable insights as we dive into stories that are making waves. Let's get right into it. First up, we're going behind the scenes of a major corporate confrontation. Imagine protesters storming executive offices, demanding accountability, and bringing the complexities of global conflicts right to the doorstep of tech giants. We'll explore the intense standoff that unfolded, the specific demands made, and the company's response to this high-stakes challenge. Next, we're tracking a significant development in the world of simulation. A new piece of hardware is hitting the market, aiming to make a popular, immersive experience more accessible than ever before. We'll break down what this new gear offers and who it's designed for, potentially opening up a whole new universe of digital exploration for many. Then, we're looking at a fascinating intersection of technology and global events. A prominent tech leader found themselves at the center of a storm, facing direct action and intense scrutiny over the company's alleged ties to international affairs. We'll delve into the details of the protest, the accusations, and the company's official stance on these serious allegations. And finally, we're shifting gears to a story that could redefine how we interact with digital worlds. A major player in the gaming and simulation space is rolling out a new product designed to enhance realism and accessibility. We'll explore the features of this innovative device and what it means for the future of immersive experiences. Stick around, because you won't want to miss a single second of these crucial updates. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Microsoft Sphere, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Office war erupts inside Microsoft's Gaza tech standoff. This situation has escalated into a significant corporate confrontation, highlighting the intense ethical debates surrounding technology's role in global conflicts. Protesters, identifying as current and former Microsoft employees affiliated with the group, No Azure for Apartheid, stormed a building on Microsoft's Redmond, Washington campus, gaining access to the office of Microsoft President Brad Smith. The group's primary objective was to deliver a court summons demanding that Microsoft sever ties with Israel, alleging the company's technology is being used to facilitate surveillance and harm in Gaza. According to the group statement, the protest aimed to hold Microsoft accountable for its alleged complicity in what they describe as a genocide. Videos posted online by the protesters showed them chanting and displaying banners, live-streaming their sit-in within Smith's office. They presented a mock legal summons, accusing Smith and Microsoft of enabling crimes against humanity. The core of their grievance stems from a report by The Guardian, which alleged that Microsoft's Azure cloud services are used by the Israeli military to store data related to phone calls made by Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank. The protesters contend that this constitutes direct support for military operations and surveillance against Palestinians. Microsoft President Brad Smith addressed the incident, characterizing the protesters' actions as an unacceptable storming of his office, which included the alleged concealment of streaming devices before the sit-in began. He stated that police intervention was necessary after the individuals refused to leave the premises. Smith confirmed that 2 of the 7 individuals involved were current Microsoft employees and that the company would be assessing whether disciplinary action is warranted. In response to the allegations, Microsoft has authorized a third-party investigation conducted by an outside law firm to examine the claims regarding the use of its Azure technology for surveillance. Smith emphasized Microsoft's commitment to ethical technology principles and human rights, while also denying that its technologies have been used to target or harm civilians in Gaza. He acknowledged the company's deep concern for all affected by the conflict, including Israelis targeted on October 7th and civilians in Gaza. Microsoft maintains that its partnership with Israel is primarily focused on cybersecurity, especially in the wake of the Hamas attack. The company's internal memo stated that while it respects peaceful protest, workplace disruptions are not tolerated. This incident follows a pattern of activism by the No Azure for Apartheid group, which has previously disrupted Microsoft's Build Developer Conference and 50th anniversary celebrations, leading to arrests in past demonstrations. The company has previously taken disciplinary action, including terminations, against employees who disrupted events or speeches by executives. This clash underscores a broader trend of increasing employee and public scrutiny of major technology firms' involvement in defense contracts and AI development for military applications. The situation reflects growing ethical tensions within the tech industry, mirroring similar incidents at Google, where employees protesting contracts with the Israeli military were dismissed. Analysts note that as technology becomes more integrated into global security and geopolitical conflicts, companies face immense pressure to balance innovation with ethical responsibilities and public accountability. The public reaction has been mixed, with some supporting the protesters' demands for ethical oversight and others condemning the disruption of corporate operations. But what happens when these protests spill directly into executive suites? Stay tuned as we break down the latest on tech's role in international affairs. Tech protests intensify. Microsoft HQ targeted over Israel links. This incident marks a significant escalation in employee activism, bringing the debate over corporate responsibility in geopolitical conflicts directly into the heart of a major tech company's operations. Microsoft's headquarters in Redmond became the scene of a lockdown on Monday when activists, comprising both current and former employees, stormed the office of President Brad Smith. Spearheaded by the No Azure for Apartheid group, the protest aimed to compel Microsoft to cancel its cybersecurity and cloud computing support contracts with Israel. The activists specifically targeted Building 34, where Smith's office is located, engaging in chants, displaying banners, and live-streaming their sit-in protest on Twitch. Videos shared online depicted the group accusing Smith of supporting genocide in Israel and presenting him with a mock legal summons alleging crimes against humanity. Organizers stated their objective was to expose Microsoft's alleged role in promoting genocide through its cloud computing and cybersecurity contracts with Israel, citing a Guardian investigation that suggested Microsoft services are used to process and store data from calls made by Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank. They are demanding the cancellation of these contracts, believing the technology enables surveillance and targeting. President Brad Smith addressed the situation, describing the protesters' actions as a storming of his office and noting that streaming devices were concealed prior to the sit-in. The FBI has been involved and is reviewing the incident. The protest group, which included past and current Microsoft employees, accused the company of complicity in war crimes due to its collaborations with Israel's military and defense sectors. They reiterated their demand for the cancellation of contracts linked to the conflict. In an internal company memo, Microsoft acknowledged its respect for peaceful protest, but stated that workplace disruptions are not tolerated. The company emphasized that its partnership with Israel is focused on cybersecurity, particularly following the October 7 Hamas attack, and expressed concern for civilians affected by the ongoing conflict in Gaza. Microsoft requested intervention from the Redmond police, leading to 7 arrests for trespassing. The No Azure for Apartheid group highlighted that this was not their first demonstration, having previously disrupted the Build Developer Conference and the company's 50th anniversary. Monday's protest was noted as their most direct confrontation, centering on President Smith's office. The group stated their protests are intended to raise awareness about Microsoft's contribution to technology that allegedly facilitates surveillance and targeting in the Israel-Gaza conflict. The arrested protesters have since been released. Smith reiterated that while protests are expected in a democratic society, actions that compromise safety and security at Microsoft facilities are unacceptable, drawing a firm line on security. This event mirrors similar protests at Google last year, where employees occupied offices to protest Project Nimbus, a $1.2 billion cloud computing deal with the Israeli military and Amazon, fearing its use in military operations in Gaza. Google subsequently fired 28 employees involved in that protest. The increasing demand for AI and cloud computing services in military operations places companies like Microsoft, Amazon, and Google under intense scrutiny from both their employees and external critics regarding their defense contracts and ethical implications. Public reaction has been divided, with many employees expressing solidarity with the protesters' ethical concerns, while the company maintains its stance on security and contractual obligations. These intense demonstrations highlight the growing ethical pressures on tech giants. Now, let's pivot to a different kind of tech development that's making headlines. Microsoft President's office stormed in protest over Gaza tech ties. Extraordinary scenes unfolded at Microsoft headquarters as protesters gained access to President Brad Smith's office, demanding the company sever ties with the Israeli government amid allegations of surveillance technology use. Extraordinary scenes unfolded at Microsoft headquarters in Redmond, Washington, where President Brad Smith held an emergency press briefing following a protest that saw a group of individuals break into his office. The collective, identifying as No Azure for Apartheid, and composed of both current and former Microsoft employees, issued a direct demand for Microsoft to cut all ties with the Israeli government. Their protest is fueled by allegations that the company's Azure cloud platform is being utilized for surveillance purposes related to the conflict in Gaza. Smith acknowledged the gravity of the complaint, but firmly stated that the takeover of his office was unacceptable behavior. Just hours prior to the briefing, 7 individuals, including 2 Microsoft staffers, entered Smith's office for a sit-in protest. Reports indicate they locked others out of the room and allegedly hid listening devices within the office space. The protesters broadcast their actions live, calling for the company to cease its defense-related contracts with Israel. In a visibly affected demeanor, Smith defended Microsoft's established human rights framework and confirmed that the company has initiated an investigation into reports claiming Azure's involvement in Palestinian surveillance. He noted that while some claims warrant scrutiny, others do not, but a formal inquiry is indeed underway to ascertain the facts. Smith was unequivocal in his condemnation of the protest's methods, stating that the actions of storming a building, installing surveillance devices, and refusing to vacate the premises when instructed represented lines that had been severely crossed. Microsoft has launched a full independent investigation into the incident and is also reviewing its building security protocols in light of this escalation. The company finds itself under pressure not only from its own employees, but also from global public scrutiny, amplified by journalistic reports alleging Azure's complicity in military surveillance activities. Smith pledged to share the findings of the investigation as soon as they become available, emphasizing that the company's contractual obligations must be rigorously aligned with its core values and ethical principles. This incident is being viewed as a significant warning, placing Microsoft at a critical juncture amidst internal dissent, widespread ethical debates, and demands for public accountability. If the allegations regarding Azure's role in surveillance are substantiated, it could fundamentally alter how technology firms navigate the complex intersection of geopolitics and cloud computing services. This intense situation highlights the deep ethical divides within the tech industry. Now, let's shift focus to a development designed to bring the world of flight simulation to more enthusiasts. Honeycomb launches Budget Yoke for Microsoft Flight Simulator beginners. A new, more accessible flight control yoke has been released, aiming to lower the barrier to entry for enthusiasts looking to enhance their Microsoft Flight Simulator experience. Honeycomb Aeronautical has expanded its product line with the introduction of the Alpha Flight Controls Lite, a new yoke priced at €199.99, specifically designed with entry-level simmers in mind. For years, Honeycomb has been recognized for producing high-end simulation hardware, including their popular Alpha Yoke and Bravo Throttle Quadrant. With the Alpha Lite, the company is now targeting users who desire the essential features of a dedicated yoke without the significant investment required for a full-fledged cockpit setup. This launch represents a significant moment for Honeycomb, especially considering the company's recent history marked by production and distribution challenges that have previously made headlines. However, it appears Honeycomb has navigated these issues and is successfully re-entering the market with fresh hardware offerings. The Alpha Lite is positioned as a clear strategy to make dedicated flight yokes more accessible to Microsoft Flight Simulator users by offering them at a more attainable price point. Visually, the Alpha Lite presents itself as a streamlined version of the original Alpha Yoke. It retains key features crucial for smooth pitch and roll control, such as the 180 degrees yoke rotation, a robust solid steel shaft, and a reliable self-centering mechanism. However, it omits some of the more advanced functionalities found in its predecessor, concentrating instead on the core flight control essentials. The device features a single, high-quality axis for pitch and roll, and a simple yet effective twist grip for rudder control, offering a clean and intuitive user experience. Notably absent are secondary controls like an ignition switch or toggles for lights and avionics, focusing purely on the fundamental aspects of flying. The Alpha Lite is designed for immediate plug-and-play compatibility with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. For those preparing for MSFS 2024, Honeycomb is providing a dedicated mapping guide to facilitate a quick and easy setup process. The company also emphasizes the build quality of the Alpha Lite. Despite being marketed towards newcomers, it is constructed using high-quality materials and precision components, a factor Honeycomb links directly to enhanced durability and consistently smooth control response. The primary target audience for the Alpha Flight Controls Lite is clearly new flight simulation enthusiasts. Honeycomb acknowledges that not all users require or desire the complexity of a full cockpit setup or even controllers packed with numerous buttons. They have recognized that many first-time buyers would prefer a dependable, no-frills control system at a more budget-friendly price. The Alpha Flight Controls Lite is available for purchase immediately for €199.99, including VAT, directly from Honeycomb's website. This move by Honeycomb could significantly broaden the appeal of flight simulation. Now, let's quickly recap the top stories you need to know today. That's all the top stories for today. We saw protests erupt at Microsoft over alleged Gaza tech ties, a new budget-friendly yoke for flight simulator fans, intense employee activism targeting tech firms' global links, and a significant new hardware release for simulation enthusiasts. Don't miss out on any future updates. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to Microsoft Sphere for more in-depth tech news, and ring that notification bell so you're always the first to know. Hit us up in the comments with your thoughts, and follow us on all social platforms for more behind-the-scenes content. We'll see you in the next one.